welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Oceanside Ice Arena. My name is Niall Cooper, and it's been a long time since we've brought ice hockey to you here in Tempe, Arizona. 6 months to be exact since the last ASU Sun Devils game, and tonight we kick off the season opener. Man, it's been a long time, and a lot has changed. As I bring in my partner for tonight, Brett Vaughn. Brett, it's so good to be back here with you, and it's been such a long time. There's really been quite a few changes in the 6 months since the Sun Devils last took this ice.
Yes, it has been. Of course, with the popularity with the NCAA team has really helped, as it was a big, huge turnout this year for Arizona State hockey tryouts. Over 100 students participating, trying to vie to make D1 and Division II teams, and it was very challenging for the players, very hard to try and compete for a spot. Only 30 men make each team, as well as for this Arizona State team. It also brought in an influx of skill, but I think a lot of tenacity and really a lot of passion to this Arizona State team that we saw that was lacking a little bit last year.
Yeah, and in fact, it's been lacking in a few seasons as the Sun Devils really battled injuries 2 years ago. This past year, there's some seniors that walked out the door. They were trying to integrate new freshmen, and then they had a lot of injuries, especially to the top six. But one thing that didn't change at all throughout the year was the effort and compete in goal from Bronson Moore. He's going to be starting again tonight. And for me, he was the undisputed MVP for the Sun Devils last season.
Yeah, he was a workhorse by every means of the word. And with Bronson Moore, I think he's going to find it a little easier this season with a lot of the help with the back end, but also the forwards. Talking to assistant coach Jim Nellis, he was really happy and surprised at the amount of talent they have for their forward groupings, and he's going to be really excited to see how they're going to perform tonight and throughout the season.
And certainly on the other end of the ice, it's not going to be an easy game to open the season by any means. UNLV, they went to the national championships last season. They're already 3-0 to start the year so far, and they had a big comeback win last night.
Yeah, they played against GCU. They were down 4-0 after the second period. They ended up coming back, winning the game 5-4. Talking with their head coach, Vinieri Greener, he was saying that there's a lot of undisciplined penalties as GCU got all 4 of their goals on the man advantage, and that's for something to take a look at tonight when we're watching UNLV, is how disciplined they're going to be for tonight's game.
And that could be a chance for Arizona State to get on it early. Folks, the puck drop is just around the corner. We'll be right back for the starting lineups, national anthem, and start of this game here on ASU Hockey YouTube. and gentlemen. Welcome back in as we are ready for hockey here in Oceanside Ice Arena. I am Niall Cooper. My partner is Brett Vaughn. And this is the first season where Bronson Moore will be the unassumed number one beginning, Brett, as he will start in net. He appeared in 30 games last season. As you mentioned, the undisputed workhorse on the other end of the ice for UNLV starting in net will be number 31, Lagunière Lebranche. And the coaching staff mentioned that they expect a few more things out of their goaltender for the Rebels.
Yeah, the issue with the goaltender last night for them, poor rebound control as well as his angles work. And in terms of those 4 power play goals they gave up, head coach Greener made sure to mention that it wasn't just the penalty kill's fault. The goalie had a hand in that as well.
Taking the opening draw for the Sun Devils will be number 10, Husted, and he will lose it to number 19, Fisher, and we are underway at the 2019-2020 season for the ASU Division I Sun Devils. Husted trying to backhand it out of his zone. It's between his legs, can't find it. He will collect it on the forehand, move his feet in the neutral zone, and pivot. A good idea as he was trying to switch it at the blue line. He had his teammate Plurd, but they couldn't connect on the pass, and UNLV will dump it back in. And on the forecheck, but unsuccessful, number 4, Linehan. And now bringing it back out for the Sun Devils is Husted. He can't get it in the zone. It is in on a delayed offsides, and that will give UNLV a chance to stop up and get a break out of their own.
Yeah, not too much going on. Both teams are still trying to get their feet into this one.
That pass connects in the neutral zone across the blue line. UNLV changing on the fly, but they can't keep it in. And restarting will be Tarumi. Some good effort by the Sun Devils, and they create a turnover. Adam Havner, he backhands it into the corner. Brendan Studioso, a new face, but not a new name, as he's in the corner trying to work it back up to the point. And we'll continue to give chase. UNLV breaking it out of their zone now. They'll just dump it into the neutral. Good pressure by the Sun Devils forcing that. But they can't quite tag up, and we'll go for a change. UNLV looking a little shaky out of the gate, can't connect a lot of passes. And a hard ride into the boards, courtesy of number 8 for the Sun Devils. And now they can bring the puck out of their own end. Just missing it was Shaw. As the captain, Kowalczyk, with a good stick check to deny UNLV the puck. The Sun Devils breaking it out. Shaw along the boards. He'll collect it in his skates, try to soccer it out, and he will. And UNLV will just chip it back where center fielder Bronson Moore will collect it and bring it down. Kowalczyk fighting off a stick lift, and a good turnover by the Rebels, but Bronson Moore was there. In on it now is Malone. Malone in the corner, drops back looking for a short angle shot, and that forces a save off the stick of DeAndre John. Back in front, short angle shot, and Moore will cover.
Kirk Underwood was a guy that head coach Anthony Vinieri Greener was really impressed with, as he's a transfer coming in to UNLV, and he did a great job of being able to strip the puck from Zachary Kowalczyk on that forecheck and resulting in a grade A scoring chance.
Kowalczyk taking a little too much time in front of his own net, but got bailed out by Bronson Moore. We might see that more than a few times this season, as number 1 Moore is one of the better goaltenders in all of the ACHA. The Sun Devils can't clear it out. Laying the body is Connor Kruk behind his own net as he gets into it with John. The Sun Devils now will break it out. Deneen, pardon me, that was Shaw, and he'll dump it into the far corner. After it now is Hosworth. Hosworth bodied up against the boards, gets some support from Chambers, but it's the Rebels who come out with the puck, and they'll just try to clear it out of their zone. Sun Devils go for a change, and UNLV will try to catch them on a change. A little sloppiness with the puck as both teams trying to find it right now. Sun Devils dump it in. A little short angle shot from Alex Searing. Another new face for the Sun Devils, and he gets back on the back check now and will alleviate that offensive chance as he throws it up into the rafters.
One of the new defensemen for Arizona State, Jack Hosworth, number 7, he was jumping into that play as they were breaking that puck out of the defensive zone, and I think that's something that might be a trademark for this upcoming season for the Sun Devils in terms of trying to generate offenses, allowing that weak side defenseman to come in and join the rush.
And we know we talked to head coach Tate Green and assistant coach Jim Nellis beforehand, Brett, that they certainly mentioned this year there is a definite uptick in the offensive potential and skill just overall from top to bottom in this roster.
Yeah, that was something that was missing as well last year. A lot of their goals had to be really hard-working goals in terms of establishing that forecheck. Not saying that if you have more skilled guys, you stop doing that, but if with having talent available to you, it's going to help you in those really close one-goal games.
UNLV now a point shot, looking for the tip in front of the net was number 17, Toriumi. He got bodied down hard by Kenny Miller. But here come the Rebels. With speed is Demizio. Demizio will lose the puck, gets it back behind the goal line, making a move in front. But it just rolled off the edge of his stick before he could get a shot away. And the Rebels with it back in their own end. 4 minutes exactly have passed in the first period. At his own blue line. Trying to get it out was Andrew Husted, but it will be an offsides on the Rebels.
Looking at it so far as we've almost eclipsed 5 minutes. For UNLV, they did have their game last night. Tough 3-game stretch here to open up the season as they try and get their legs within them. But for me, it looks like they're just missing just that little oomph, that little something extra when they're on the puck. I feel like they need to be just a little more harder.
UNLV taking a hard ride along the boards. That was a big check from Elliot Plurd. And number 4, Orion Linehan for the Rebels did not take kindly to that. A little stick tap on the back of the knee let him know. And the Rebels will dump it back in just short of an icing. Collected by Landfair. He'll rim it around to his defensive partner, and they can get it up now. Getting tripped in the neutral zone and drawing a penalty. A great effort. Keeping the feet moving was Andrew Husted as he was coming in on a 2-on-1 potentially with Elliot Plurd. And Brett, you mentioned the special teams earlier, and it's going to potentially come to fruition as Arizona State gets an early opportunity on the power play.
It all came to fruition by the forward Clayton Lackey of going back into his own zone and acting as a third defenseman as he was there for the D-to-D pass, which allowed Arizona State to regroup with so much speed. And from there, ending up creating the tripping penalty.
Arizona State can't quite win the draw, but they do get it deep. Braden Shaw behind the net as he'll use his big body to protect the puck. Gets between the defensemen, tries to throw one in front of the net. A good move by Shaw. As he saw, he had number 28, Daniel Chambers, standing right in front of the net all alone, but couldn't quite connect on the pass. The Sun Devils do continue this chance with an offensive zone draw as UNLV still adjusting to the low-hanging roof here at Oceanside.
Yeah, Shaw is a very large human being as he was using his frame there to really work underneath the goal line and in the corners. Almost came with a scoring chance when he centered that in front.
Sun Devils back at the point now. The righty operating is Studioso. Up top to Hosworth. Across to Havner. He gets a hard stick check but continues. Gets it looking to drop it to Studioso. Instead it's to Hosworth. Back over and trying to make a quick shot in front was Havner. The Rebels break it up but can't clear it. Across now. Winding up for the wrist shot and that goes just wide. A great effort from number 8 for the Sun Devils, and that'll get cleared all the way out.
Sun Devils are lining up in a traditional umbrella power play as they have 3 guys across on both face-off dots and a guy right in the middle of the slot between the hash marks. They just need to move the puck a little quicker as UNLV was ready for it.
Lackey with speed coming in across the blue line. He'll look for a quick shot, and that is swallowed up and held by the goaltender, Lagagnère Labranche.
I do like how straightforward Arizona State is on this power play as 52 seconds remain on the clock as they're really just trying to get a few quick passes in and then get that puck right to the net and look for that second chance opportunity.
Sun Devils work along the boards now, trying to dig it out as a rugby scrum ensues. Havner, he'll back in all the way up to the point. Lackey skates across the blue line, drops it. Looking for the quick shot, and that's blocked. Winding up was Husted. Husted back on it. Down low. They'll work it up to Lackey. Lackey cross now to Kowalchuk in front. The redirection was there. A great look by Kowalchuk. Back on it now on the short side. The goalie will cover it. But a great opportunity, Brett. Some good hockey IQ display from there by the Sun Devils.
Yeah, that second power play unit, I think, heard the message of move that puck a little quicker with the ice still relatively new in this first period. It's going to allow the puck to really slide back and forth on that slick ice sheet and almost create a grade A opportunity.
Sun Devils on it once again. Lackey sends it to the half wall to Husted. Husted looking for a short angle shot, and that almost found a hole through. A good desperation save.
I think Arizona State has done that first part of getting that puck to the net, but from there, I think they're missing a presence right in front of the goaltender, Lagunier, of being able to, one, get in his eyes, but two, be able to pick up that rebound right away.
Kowalchuk one times one off of his back foot. That goes over the net. He'll get it behind. But the Rebels clears this power play and some good opportunities for the Sun Devils, but they couldn't get one to go. As we near 7 minutes into the first period, the Sun Devils leading the shot clock 5-2. As they carry all the momentum, looking to build off of it. And that'll be Kenny Miller who breaks it out. Little deflection in across the Sun Devils. They might have a 2-on-1 if they can sort out where the puck is, and it's Hoffenkamp in front. He can't get his stick on it. Down low, Tim works it, trying to make a quick move from low to high with Searing. Gets the puck, stick checked away. The Rebels will clear, but only to the blue line, and a quick wrister is gloved down off of the stick of Slavic.
Fourth line really doing some damage for the Sun Devils, as Timothy Hoffenkamp is the one that's centering that line, as he almost had a grade A opportunity, pardon me, with the defenseman Michael Slavic of being able to collect that turnover at the offensive blue line and get that point shot on.
Hoffenkamp loses the draw. And the Rebels now trying to get it out, but once again having a little trouble in their own end. As that goes off the skate of the linesman, and the Sun Devils can try to get it back in the offensive zone. Kowalchuk will step up, get it across the blue line, lay a check, and continue on, just doing a little bit of everything, the captain for the Sun Devils. As he'll skate back to his defensive end while the Rebels try to move it forward. Bronson Moore will come out of his crease, backhand one. Landfear has to get that out of his pants and rim it around the boards. A little miscommunication, and the Rebels are able to keep it in. Toriumi looking into the slot. On the backhand of his centerman, though. That takes a weird deflection, and Bronson Moore comes all the way out to challenge it. And we have another stoppage in play.
So far, it's been a tight contest. I'm really impressed by the Sun Devils in terms of changes from maybe last year to this year, is how quick they're moving the puck out of their own defensive zone, being able to collect speed in that neutral zone, and then really put UNLV back on their heels when they enter in the offensive zone.
A quick shot off the draw by the Rebels goes wide. Stepping in at the blue line and keeping it in is Plonsky. That'll come all the way around where it can be dealt with by Platt along the half wall. Taking a hit is Chambers, but he gets the puck out of the zone. A good effort taking a hit to make a play. The Rebels trying to come back in on it. On the forecheck is Malone. A lot of bodies being laid against the half wall. As Malone continues to push his defenseman up against the wall. He has some support trying to dig it out of the Rebels. And the Sun Devils are the ones that emerged. It's a 3-on-1. The Sun Devils in on sides. The pass. The shot. Oh, and it was actually a pass that didn't come through off the stick of Hosworth, as he decided to look for one too many passes, missed an opportunity to get a grade A scoring chance.
A poor pinch by the forward, DeAndre John, ended up leaving his defenseman Polonsky all by himself on that 3-on-1 opportunity, but it was a great job by Polonsky not to give up on that play.
A hard check laid by Studioso, and that helps the Sun Devils get the puck back. Slavic, a nice move, trying to backhand it in front, but it's blocked away by number 14, Barry. Jake Barry on it now for the Rebels. Smooth skating, puck-moving defenseman. He'll get through the neutral zone and dump it in, and Moore will come all the way out to rim it out for the Sun Devils and help the breakout. But in the middle of a change, the Sun Devils turn it over. 10 minutes and some change left in the first in a 0-0 game. The first game of the season for the Sun Devils. Still looking for that first goal. has taken a hard hit while dumping the puck in was Lanfear, and he'll retreat back to the blue line. Trying to clear the puck out of his own end was 26 Mazzillo, but a good stick check, and that'll be a neutral zone faceoff.
Although not too much action Bronson Moore's had to really face so far, he has been active as a goaltender of being able to play the puck, whether it is collecting loose rebounds in front or weird hops, as well as being able to collect the puck and not allow UNLV to establish a forecheck at all.
And one thing when we talked to the coaches before the game, Brett, they did mention they don't want Bronson Moore having to play the puck too much, as that's something we saw a lot of last year when the Sun Devil defensemen would really get taken advantage of with the speed of opposing forward groups. Lackey chips it out. Rebels back on it. A big hit laid right in front of his own bench by Flanders. His teammates will certainly love that. A spin move trying to get it out, but a good pinch along the half wall by Plurd. And the Rebels really having to work to get out of their zone, almost turning it over right at the blue line was the captain for the Rebels, number 25, Asaf. Going back the other way, that shot goes high. On the backhand, trying to work it in the slot. The puck rims around, but Manning couldn't get the pass to go through for the Rebels, and they're back on the defensive. Lackey now, the right-hander, looking for a quick shot, and that's kicked away by the goalie. Back on it, Lackey right in front. He just misses the one-timer as the puck hopped over his stick at the last second. UNLV coming back the other way across the blue line, dropping it now. Asaf, a nice move, and Moore is there to answer it and have a stoppage with 8:55 left in the first.
Some nice composure shown by Brandon Manning for UNLV as he received that drop pass in the offensive zone and decided to really try to fake that defenseman out for Arizona State to get down on his knees so he can try to fit it in on his backhand, but it was a nice stop by Moore.
Palumbo with a block. The Rebels continue. That gets up high on Moore. And it's back to UNLV, looking for another quick shot, but blocked in front. The Sun Devils turn it over. A quick one-timer that gets deflected wide, as just healing the shot was DeMizio. Rebels keep it alive down low. Turcotte on it. He takes a hard check. He'll look to work it back up to the point. A rolling puck is collected and shot, but Palumbo with another block. He has 2 blocks on this shift already. Turcotte looking for more. Nice saucer pass across as the defenseman was working it down low. And the Sun Devils on the puck now can try to get it all the way down. Will that go for an icing? Not quite. A great effort. Forcing the defenseman to have to get back in time was Larson. And that allows Arizona State to change. The Rebels now in on the offensive. Looking to make a pass into the middle was Toriumi. A good stick by Kenny Miller slowed that down. Another good stick by Kenny Miller. And that quick turnaround shot is deflected by Bronson Moore up into the netting. There is a call behind the play.
It's like in terms of undisciplined penalties, it might be a UNLV penalty. As the referees talk with number 21, Jason DeMizio, as when we categorize undisciplined penalties, it's usually a penalty where it's not trying to save a goal, or maybe if you're trying to stop a breakaway and trying to hack a guy down. It's something in the offensive zone when your team has control of the puck, like DeMizio's teams did right there, and he ends up taking an undisciplined slashing call on one of the forwards as he was getting checked by one. Could come back to bite him.
Sun Devils win the draw. They have a late change coming in as Chambers snuck on the bench, but got a little speed into the offensive zone. Sun Devils on it now. A good block in front by the Rebels trying to get it out, but being stick checked hard by Shaw. Second effort, the Rebels will clear it all the way down, and they get their penalty kill off to a good start. Moore with some slick stick handling, gets to his defenseman. And the Sun Devils now can bring it out with a little bit of pizzazz. As Chambers tries to make a nifty move in the neutral zone. Picking it up with Studioso, and he'll send it all the way across as the Sun Devils just trying to figure out how to get in the offensive zone right now. In front, Chambers across. That shot healed and will be covered. And Brett, another good opportunity generated by the Sun Devils thanks to their speed and creativity in the neutral zone.
Yeah, I think maybe a little too much pizzazz is used for that adjective to describe them trying to enter in the zone. Usually that pizzazz is a little more welcomed at a Cher concert rather than a hockey game, but were finally able to get the puck in. But for Braden Shaw, he had an awesome opportunity right in front of the net. He needs to just go ahead and take the shot there instead of try to dish it off.
Husted, a good job to evade the forecheck of the Rebels. He'll dish it off to Kowalchuk, back to Husted. Husted across the center line, some nifty moves, gets in and dishes it to Lackey. Lackey to Husted. Husted button hook, sends it down low, gets it back. Husted a quick little reverse with Plurd, and now up to Lackey. Lackey had Havner in the slot, but a good defensive effort by Tristan Meyer to break it up. And with 30 seconds left, the Sun Devils have to start all the way back in their own end.
A little less involved so far in this man advantage opportunity for the Sun Devils. UNLV's done a great job of really collapsing tight in on their goaltender to be able to allow the Sun Devils to take that first shot, but clear away those second chance opportunities.
Plurd now trying to get it deep. Good effort by Husted, keeps it alive along the half wall. Kowalchuk, he'll send a wrister, and that gets denied, but can't be stopped for a whistle, and the Sun Devils get it back. Kowalchuk down low. Low to high, Kowalchuk again as they look for a wrist shot and a deflection. And once again, the Rebels calling on their goaltender to bail them out.
Yeah, it looks like the goaltending change for Lagunier has been serving the Rebels well so far. It was a little shaky off that 1-point shot from Kowalchuk, but other than that, he's looked really positive.
Rebels will rim it all the way back around. And they do get it now in the offensive zone. Malone. He gets some help from John as they try to work it in front for a chance. That gets sticked away into the corner. As Shaw gets it on his stick, and he'll rim it all the way back in for the Sun Devils. Lagunier will send a hard pass that can't get collected. Back up to the point now, a quick wrist shot that's deflected, and it goes off the pipe that looked to be in the net from this angle, but the referee waves his arms no. The Sun Devils oh so close to getting that first goal of the season at the 15-minute mark, but bailed out by the iron is Lagunier.
Might need some new glasses. That was crazy.
The Rebels taking a hard hit in the neutral zone, courtesy of Jet Larson. Pardon me, Ryan Lanfear. He was the one laying the body there, the big defenseman for the Sun Devils. The Rebels will send it all the way back down now. Bronsonmore coming way out of his net. And the Rebels will have to tag up as they get involved along the half wall with Searing. The Rebels bank one just shy of the Raptors and get it all the way down the ice. Hard after it, almost forcing a turnover, was Toriumi. Hoffenkamp with his long reach almost gets that sticked away, and he'll go for a quick change. 3:50 left in the first period in this scoreless game. The Rebels trying to change that right here, though. Demizio, button hooks at the point, looks for some help. They get the help, and they'll send it all the way down low. On it now is Flanders. Flanders, the lefty, pivots, trying to get it into the slot, but he couldn't get the pass to connect, and the Sun Devils will get a much-needed change. Good stick, causing a turnover in the neutral zone is Studioso. Studioso to Miller. Miller with a blind drop pass, and here come the Rebels on a brief 3-on-2. Manning working it into the slot. The Sun Devils clogging it up, and Miller coming back, trying to get physical. Vacates his post in front of the net, and the Rebels might try to take advantage on the wraparound. A good save by Bronsonmore on Flanders. Flanders persists in the neutral, in the slot rather. He looks for a quick shot, and that gets deflected just wide of the net as the Sun Devils are scrambling. Kenny Miller throws it behind his net, turns it over. 2-on-1 in front. Manning looking for the short angle shot. The rebound in front of the net. And taking a hard check was Tristan Meyer as the Sun Devils with a little self-inflicted damage avoid catastrophe.
Man, those last 2 minutes sound like it was a Kenny Loggins song. They were in the danger zone that whole time in their defensive area, as it was tough for them to, one, try to communicate in terms of their control breakout of being able to collect it and get some help from their forward grouping. They're a little too spread out, and UNLV almost capitalized.
That's the first time we've seen this whole period, Brett. UNLV take advantage of the speed that they have. And almost got something out of that turnover from Miller. Kowalchuk, the captain, makes a move, gets it to Lackey. He'll try to make a soft chip around the defenseman. The Sun Devils continue after it. They're on sides. That short angle shot looked to go off the noggin of Lagunier, and that'll be an offensive zone draw for ASU.
And trying to finish that point as well as the forwards, I understand on a controlled breakout you want to have at least one guy stretching in terms of creating space in the neutral zone for your team. But if you have too many guys up above, the two defensemen are back there, and they really have no one to go ahead and pass the puck to and headman it to.
2:29 remaining here in the first. Sun Devils win the offense zone draw. Kowalchuk, he'll look for the deflection in front, and he gets it, and they score! The first goal of the season for the Sun Devils, and it's 1-0 with 2:25 left in the first.
The thing the Sun Devils have been doing all period is making sure to try to feed the points. That's going to, one, allow space for the forwards to work down low in the offensive zone, but as well as allow for opportunities for the defensemen to possibly chip in there. Kowalchuk, I think that was his 4th or 5th point shot of this period, and was able to find Elliot Plurd, who had parked himself right in front of the goaltender, Lagunier, and ends up getting just enough on the puck to redirect it behind him, having the Sun Devils with a 1-0 lead.
And the official call looks to be Kowalchuk's goal. I thought Plurd might have had his stick. Either way, he made a move on the goaltender, and you saw him kind of freeze him as he couldn't reach over and get his stick to deflect away the soft wrister from Kowalchuk. Regardless, it's the first of the year for the Sun Devils and a big early lead against the Rebels. Looking for more is Clayton Lackey. He'll take a quick shot. Lagunier makes the save. Kept in, though, by Palumbo as he'll soccer it into the corner. Lays a check. And stepping in is Kruk from the point. He'll send it down low. Palumbo back after it as he fights through a check. Reverses to Plurd. Plurd now sliding into the neutral zone on his backhand. Gets it up to the point. A quick wrist shot. And the Rebels manage to deflect that away. But a good keep at the point once again by Kruk. Palumbo trying to work that in front of the net. And the Rebels will just have to chip it out and get a partial change. The Sun Devils tag up on sides. We'll send it down low. Hoffenkamp after it. The big fourth line center for the Sun Devils can't get a stick. And it's the Rebels who have a chance to come back the other direction. On sides, a hard short angle shot by Demizio. Moore had no problem with that. Demizio back on it now as Palumbo stick checks him away. Moore saves it. A few hacks after the whistle. And with 53.5 left, Brett, it seems you must be a savant. I'm here in that danger zone right now. I think they might have heard you down in the penalty box.
Yeah, Arizona State looked a little bit more rejuvenated after they got that goal, as they've been really hot on the trot in the offensive zone. Now they're going to have to defend this defensive zone draw.
Palumbo loses it. Back at the point, not able to keep it in. However, for the Rebels was Hetzel. And they'll slash it off the glass down low. Kowalchuk manages to get it to his partner. A quick move, and Landfear can get out of his zone, head up, looking for that breakout pass, but he couldn't find Hoffenkamp. Palumbo lays a check as that's sent back in. Kowalchuk on his backhand. He has a forechecker in after him, but he'll manage to make a good move up to Chambers, who just misses Jet Larson in the neutral zone. 20 seconds left. Kowalchuk tries to absorb a check, looking for some help, but it's the Rebels on it. Toriumi, a quick shot, Moore sends that into the corner. 5 seconds left. Moore, a good job to slash that one into the corner. Another short angle shot won't go. And the Sun Devils escape a late frenzy in front and will take a 1-0 lead into the intermission.
Yeah, for the Sun Devils, really impressed in the offensive zone. I think it's just for them, they need to clean up their own kitchen in the defensive end of things and try to manage the puck a little better. For UNLV, as talking with head coach Anthony Vinieri Greener, he was saying that he really liked the character that was shown last night with his Rebels team, and it's going to be tested again tonight.
It certainly will, but Zachary Kowalchuk, the man of the first period, a big first goal of the season from the point, and it's 1-0 Sun Devils. as we will rejoin you here in a short 15 minutes for second period action. Don't go anywhere on ASU ACHA Hockey YouTube. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, in Oceanside Ice Arena. I am Niall Cooper, and we are just about ready to get underway for the second period of action here tonight as the Sun Devils bringing a 1-0 lead into the second period. A goal by the captain, Zachary Kowalchuk, is the difference maker right now. ASU trying to get right back on it. Lackey can't get it out of his feet in front, back at the point. That shot's blocked. And coming the other way is UNLV on a 2-on-1. Unable to keep the puck thanks to a good back check by Husted as he broke up what would have been a great opportunity for the Rebels. The ice still quite wet. As you can see, a little bit of trouble both teams had early with this wet ice trying to connect passes, and you saw it again right there as it took an extra second for Toriumi to get that off of his stick. Husted turns it over at his own blue line. Manages to bank it off his leg, and the other way is Plurd. Plurd with a hard shot. That's blocked away into the corner off the stick of Williams, but kept in. Lackey now. He looks for a quick shot that goes just over the top of the net. Turcotte on it. He'll try to make a quick pass to his defenseman. That's short side available for Lackey as he comes in, tries to get it out of the slot. Skates all the way back up to the blue line. A good pass across. Lackey really working it. Lackey sidesteps a hard check, gets it in front, and that is a goal. What a backhand pass from Damone Porter, the assistant captain. And Lackey had a wide open 4x6 begging for him to put it in, and it's 2-0 Sun Devils.
Oh my, eyes in the back of his head with that pass. Unbelievable pass by Porter. As a goaltender for UNLV, Lagunier really had no idea where that puck was, as it's really tricky behind the net for a goaltender trying to figure out where that puck's going to end up being passed from. Ends up looking the wrong way, and it's just an easy tap in for Lackey.
The Scottsdale, Arizona native, that might have been the easiest goal he's ever scored in his life, Brett. A beautiful no-look backhand pass. I was left wondering there for a second what had happened. Damone Porter with some great hockey IQ to make that play. And looking for more of the Sun Devils. It might be a 2-on-1. Havner trying to get the up pass to him was number 6, Studioso. Just missing. The Rebels can try to reverse it out of their own end. A backhand, forehand. They get it across the blue line, and Malone with some speed. The righty trying to stave off the stick check of Havner, and the Rebels keep it in. Back at the point. A quick shot in the slot that's blocked away, but the Rebels back on it once again. Underwood is behind the net now. As picking it up with some speed, trying to get out of his zone, making a move was number 12, Slavic. And ultimately they get it to Havner, and he'll clap one in as the Sun Devils try to get a change behind the play. Along the half wall, the Rebels get it out, and it's a 3-on-1. With the puck is DeAndre John. John looking for the pass, a quick shot, and what a save by Bronson Moore as he moved all the way from his right to his left. John still on it. As the Sun Devils are on their heels, the Rebels send it in behind the net. And that puck almost catches a fan right in the head up in the stands. As sending it out of his own defensive end was Connor Kruk.
Bronson Moore ended up having to come up big, as really including the first period. He wasn't too busy, but he made a spectacular stop, just punching his glove hand on that top right-hand corner of the net to be able to steer that one away and preserve this 2-goal lead.
A great job by DeAndre John on that 2-on-1 to draw the defenseman over and make a pass at the last possible second. Took everything Moore had to make the save. A big block by Shaw as the Rebels looking to build off the momentum they just got from that wonderful scoring opportunity. Shaw in on the forecheck. He gets some help. A big check laid by number 14, Platt. As the Sun Devils trying to get physical on the Rebels. Evading a couple stick checks before ultimately losing the puck was Flanders. And the Sun Devils with a dangerous play in front of their own net. Kruk now can't get it up to his man. The Sun Devils once again will try to get it out of their own end, but the Rebels are the first to the puck. Manning sends it down low. Picked up and gotten all the way back to the point, as that shot from the Rebels defenseman just missed a deflection into the back of the net from Hetzel. Quick deflection short side, looking for the wraparound, and Bronson Moore had to get his leg pad all the way across. And the Sun Devils will rip one all the way down the ice for an icing, as Brett, the Rebels seem to have quite a bit of momentum right out of the gate.
Yeah, looking back at it from the first period, the Rebels, I think, really found success when the game started to really open up end-to-end action, which allowed them to use their speed and their creativity off the rush to generate scoring chances. And I feel that's the same thing that's happening here early in the second period for the Rebels.
Turcotte in on the draw for the Rebels, but he will lose that to Platt. And the Sun Devils will send it all the way back down, but the fresh ice, once again, that'll be another icing as the tired Sun Devils get all the way back on their own end.
Super crucial right now for number 28, Daniel Chambers in the circle. He's on the strong side wing for him to win this puck on his backhand, and they really need to just get a soft chip out of the zone.
Sun Devils will win that draw. Rim it all the way to Shaw. Shaw gets it to Platt, and Platt will send it all the way down. The Sun Devils finally get a full change.
Really just what the doctor ordered there, a crucial draw win.
A hard check laid by Hoffenkamp. Coming in to collect the puck was Searing, but it just jumped off the edge of his stick. The Rebels try to make a pass, but it will be a roughing call by the referee, and that will be the third penalty of the game against the Rebels. And it looks to be, for the second time tonight, Jason DiMizio heading to the box.
Yeah, it looks like for ASU, again, getting under the skin of the Rebels. This time it was Jared Turcotte. As, again, really an ill-timed penalty for you as the offensive team. You're breaking out of your own zone behind the play. Ends up getting caught with a roughing call behind it, not helping your team one bit.
And that was Turcotte that goes to the box. DiMizio was trying to argue his case as he skated in the box, but I don't know about you, Brad. I've never seen very many of those get turned over.
Usually change my mind about restaurants, but usually not penalties.
A hard check behind the net. Kowalchuk letting Jared Erickson know. So Sun Devils work it. That gets deflected off of number 34 for the Rebels. Should be an offensive zone draw. Rebels arguing otherwise, but the linesmen look to have caught it.
As a power play team, you get that offensive zone draw right away to establish zone possession, but when you lose that, you end up becoming discombobulated, really not having any rhythm out there as a five-man unit, and that's what really leads to the demise of your power play opportunity if you're not too careful.
Huston and Malone tie up on that draw. And as that puck gets sent out, the first penalty of the season on the Sun Devils will be called, as Elliot Plurd will sit for 2 minutes for holding, and we will see our first 4-on-4 action of the season.
Overall with this game, I don't think either team has taken not a great penalty, but possibly a penalty that needs to be taken in order to limit a scoring opportunity. Plurd in the offensive zone as his team was setting up ends up taking a holding call, negates the power play.
And I'm sure you're speaking from experience, Brett. You never took a penalty unless it was absolutely necessary.
No, definitely wasn't the strongest of players out there, just used my wits, and that's how I was able to get ice time.
Sun Devils trying to get Woody to get out of their zone. They end up turning it over. The Rebels get it below the goal line. A quick reverse, this time will work, and skating out of his own end is Hosworth. Hosworth up ahead to Husted. Husted on the backhand. But it's the Rebels coming the other way. A nifty move in the neutral zone opens up some space for Paxton Malone. He'll look for a quick shot. Following it up is Underwood. Underwood will protect the puck. Reverse it at the point. Almost turning it over was Husted, so he got a stick in there. Couldn't quite jam the puck loose. Comes across now to Assoff. And that just goes out of the zone. Sun Devils had a chance to get it all the way down. On a 4-on-4, there's lots of ice, and Lackey has lots of ice in front of him now, the fresh skater for the Sun Devils, as he'll dance in the corner, wait for reinforcements. A nice move into the slot. Lackey wrists one, and Lagunier fighting it. It's in the blue paint. Unfortunately, nobody there. Otherwise, it's a tap-in for the Sun Devils.
Man, 4-on-4, again, a lot of open ice has created a lot of different scoring chances.
Havner on the back check. But coming in for the Rebels, looking for a quick shot, a pass in front, and on the back door was Malone. Malone, he's been out here for the entire shift, and he almost got a goal as a result. Coming back the other way is Studioso now. Studioso tries to go between the legs of the defenseman, but Jason DiMizio says no thank you. DiMizio back the other way, trying to make a power move in front, and the Sun Devils have to send that one all the way down as they are officially now on an abbreviated penalty kill. And with 10 seconds left on this power play, it looks like the Sun Devils will avoid any imminent danger. As Plurt's just about to get out of the box, he does. That puck can't reach him, and he'll go for a quick change behind the play as we're back to 5-on-5 action. Cosworth surveying his options. A nice pass through the neutral zone. It's a 2-on-2 for the Sun Devils. Across now is Larson, and he takes a hard check, courtesy of Jake Berry. A nice little soccer pass from Timothy Hoffenkamp as the Sun Devils try to avoid a too many men penalty, and they'll just dump it in behind the net. Lagunier on it, leaves it for the defenseman.
Good communication from the guys on the bench. It looked like Penn Station down there in front of it, but they were able to get away with no call.
A big windup, and Bronson Moore didn't appear to see that one as that bangs off the glass right behind him. The Rebels trying to take advantage of what has been a very tilted beginning to the second period. A hard check, however, laid by Chambers, and he will draw a penalty as a result. A lot of stoppages early in the second period, and some hard work along the boards rewards the Sun Devils.
Yes, I think Chambers finally got the word that it's going to end up being a penalty against him, and it's going to end up being a roughing call. So now UNLV, I think, really their only established power play opportunities coming up, and it's going to be interesting for them. Thinking about last year, UNLV was really good at, and a big facet of their game was their power play unit. It's going to be interesting to see how it's going to shake out.
And I need to apologize, Brett. I thought that was going to be a penalty on UNLV, as the referee didn't blow the play dead until UNLV had the puck. Not sure what happened there. Maybe a little miscommunication on my part. But as you said, the Sun Devils will go on the penalty kill now, and it's the first opportunity, a full 2 minutes for UNLV, pending any further penalties. Lackey, the leading forward for the Sun Devils, as he will retreat in his own end. Bronson Moore has it. He'll look to clear it, and he does. A good clear by the goaltender for the Sun Devils.
Fantastic by Moore. It was just a one-man breakout. You could have had no Sun Devils on the ice, and he still would have gotten the puck out. Such a big help to have that.
Sun Devils get a quick 2 fresh men on, and they'll send it down once again. A good start to this penalty kill for ASU.
UNLV losing that initial draw once they got that 2-minute power play opportunity. Now they're just, again, out of funk, not being able to establish any zone time at all.
And they have yet to recover from that, as the Rebels can't quite get through the pressure that the Sun Devils are applying. That one just across the blue line, almost offsides. But ASU clears it once again. Palumbo trying to get his stick on that pass. The assistant captain, one of the few returners for the Sun Devils this season. He's been a defensive force so far with at least 3 blocks on the game. A hard check behind the net, and DiMizio managed to get the puck but can't find Paxton at the point. The Rebels slowly into the offensive zone, sliding it into the slot. Paxton Malone wanted it, but instead they work it along the half wall. John with some nice moves, look for a wraparound attempt, but Bronson Moore is there with 20 seconds left on the power play.
Yeah, possibly a quick opportunity if UNLV can maybe get something set up off the draw in the offensive zone, as like you can see some of the UNLV players communicating to each other, like number 11, Nick Flanders. Flanders, who is somebody that's really impressed coming into UNLV this season.
The Davie, Florida native. But it will be the Sun Devils once again, Brett, just as you mentioned, who will clear that. And now Hoffenkamp, he'll be the first one to it. Get some help from Larson. Larson fighting off 3 checks, as his hard work will just about kill off the last of this power play opportunity for the Rebels, as Jet Larson continues to give chase. Some great work from the depth forward for the Sun Devils. Kowalchuk now will just try to get out of his zone, absorbs a check. Gets it as far as the point, but it's kept in. The Rebels on it, another short angle attempt as the Rebels really looking for any shot they can get, but Underwood is denied by Moore.
So far for Arizona State, I think the developing theme for them is to really pay attention on where they're putting that puck in terms of danger and in terms of where it is on the ice sheet. As UNLV, with their pressure, they've been able to establish some turnovers, but they've been a lot more unforced than forced on their end, so it's just really for Arizona State that they're clearing it up.
In front, the Rebels trying to get an opportunity. A little no-look backhand pass almost spelled trouble for the Sun Devils. But they get it all the way back down. Studioso in the corner, a hard check. As he continues to engage with the Rebel player. Kenny Miller, a good keep at the point as he knocks it down. And the Rebels forced to just whip it out of their own end as things are getting a little more physical. And Brett, something we talked about a lot last year, especially because we got to see it a lot last year, is the penalty kill for the Sun Devils, but they're continuing what they built on last year, bringing it in so far to this season. And while it's a small sample size, so far you have to say the penalty kill looks much improved.
Yeah, it's something they learned from actually Jeff Blashill, the head coach for the Detroit Red Wings, and taking something from the pro game and implementing it here at the ACHA level of running a wedge penalty kill, so to speak, as almost a triangle setup in their own defensive zone.
The Rebels now 5-on-5, almost earning a chance in front as they continue to make those east to west passes along the goal line and just try to get something dirty in front of the net. ASU, a little miscommunication across the blue line. It'll be Manning bringing it the other way. Manning evades Havner, and he'll skate in across the blue line on the backhand. He'll wrist a soft one, and Moore with an easy save.
Manning, again, very impressed by his poise, the Victor, New York native, of that time, again, coming in, really taking his time, ends up going to Deke again to that backhand side, which I think is something that he really likes to do when he's on his off wing, coming on that right side as a left-handed shooter, and it created another opportunity for his UNLV team.
Just past the halfway point of this game and period. Sun Devils holding on to that 2-0 lead, but not without a good pushback from the Rebels. Lackey just misses collecting that one. No icing on the play. As it's dumped all the way back in by the Sun Devils. Behind his own net, fishing it around to DeMizio. DeMizio getting into it with Kowalchuk, and that's another whistle as it goes up into the rafters. And Brett, the play kind of slowing down a little bit right now. UNLV, they did have some trouble last night getting off to a slow start, and it took them really until the third period against GCU before they finally found their legs.
Yeah, definitely UNLV is still in this hockey game, only down by 2 goals, but I think we're seeing a little bit of the fatigue so early in the season as both teams are really trying to get familiar with one another when they're on the ice, but as well as conditioning-wise.
This is the second series of the season for UNLV as they open the year against Colorado. As that shot gets deflected up into the netting. With 2-1 and 7-2 wins respectively to open the season against Colorado at home in Las Vegas. And then a great character win, as the coach described it, for UNLV last night, coming back. Not exactly the game you'd want to see as your team goes down 4-0 2 periods in, but they ultimately get the decision against GCU. And that makes this a crucial weekend series against the Sun Devils if you're UNLV. If you can escape the state of Arizona 5-0 with 3 road wins, especially with that character win to open it, that would go a long way in getting the Rebels a ranking that they want. As we talked to the coaching staff for the game, Brett, they said they really want to be ranked high, and they think they can do it. A quick shot by Plurd saved as the linesman goes down behind the play. He took a hard hit from Paxton Malone.
And for any team at the really embryonic stage of your season, you're just trying to figure out what the players that you have inside that locker room can really give for one another, as well as try to find your team identity and really what to rally around throughout the season.
Miller now, a quick turnaround as that was deflected off the stick of DeAndre John and settled in the slot perfectly in front of number 14 Platt, but he couldn't get the shot off. Malone the other way for the Rebels. On his off wing, he'll look for a quick shot. Moore saves it. The rebound gets kicked away. And the referee deems it to be a hand pass and will whistle it down as this puck will come all the way into the neutral zone.
Yeah, a little bit stagnant so far. I think there's a lot of action early in that second period, and I think especially when that ice decided to open up on that 4-on-4 opportunity. But really, since then, it's not been too much going on.
A good stick by Shaw. Forces the Rebels to regroup. As Platt getting into it behind the play with his equal number counterpart, Jake Berry. But they decide to go their separate ways. Picking it up and a soft dump out while taking a hard check behind the play, and he loses his stick. The Rebels coming back might have abbreviated 3-on-2. Moore having to get the paddle down and make a short angle save. As Shaw gets that puck out, a high hit but no call. And Kowalchuk the other way. Kowalchuk will wind one up. The goalie looking around didn't quite know where it was. As the captain with another hard wrister, it really seems to be catching the goaltender off guard tonight. It's the best opportunity for the Sun Devils so far in this period.
Yeah, again, activating from that back end, Zachary Kowalchuk. He saw the play developing on the right side of the ice as the puck was moving up. He ended up jumping into the play on that left side, ended up creating an awesome scoring opportunity as that worried the goaltender Lagunier as he had to check in his pads to make sure.
Getting kicked out of the circle for the Rebels is number 11, Flanders, pleading his case unsuccessfully. But it won't matter as the Rebels win it anyway. Flanders now on it as the winger. He'll bring it in on sides. Drops it back to the point. Manning reverses, sends it down low. Flanders can't quite get to it. Mazzillo on the half wall will try to get it down low. But it's Palumbo, the forward, who's back there in the corner, working hard to get the puck away from the Rebels, as they will continue to just cycle it into the corner. On his backhand, whipping one in front, but a good read to be there by Jet Larson. Larson across the blue line, just on sides. Dishes a backhand pass. The Sun Devils looking for a quick 1-2-3 tic-tac-toe, but he couldn't quite get the breaks to go. Was Drew Platt as he just pushed the net off. Otherwise, Brett, that might be a third goal.
Yeah, I think it ended up being Searing. I was a little worried that Jet Larson, when he was entering that zone as he's evading the checker over the blue line, was one, going to be onside, but two, be able to move the puck in time. Ended up doing so and almost worked out brilliantly, but the passer, Searing, just couldn't stop early enough. Ends up running to the net before Platt could put it on the short side. Ends up negating the goal.
And we might need to recommend Tate Green to bring out the Anaheim Ducks training from the Mighty Ducks movie to make sure these guys know how to break in time. A turnover by the Rebels, picked up by the Sun Devils. A quick shot, and what a save. Getting down low with the glove was Lagunier. Otherwise, it's a 3-0 lead for the Sun Devils. A ref taking a tumble back behind the play. As the Rebels continue with it, he looks a little gimpy as he gets up. A call behind the play. The goaltender will get on the bench for the Rebels as they get an extra attacker on. Sun Devils doing a good job to tie it up, and they will call it now. As we're approaching 5 minutes left in the second, and the Rebels will get their second full power play opportunity of the period.
Huge swing of momentum for UNLV as Lagunier made an unbelievable stop on Porter, kicking out the left leg, and that ends up transitioning to allowing his UNLV teammates to go in the offensive zone, and they end up engaging a hooking call on number 4, Kenny Miller, and it's going to be their second power play of the period.
Taking the defensive draw for the Sun Devils will be Hoffenkamp. In the circle, it's Flanders for UNLV, and Hoffenkamp will win it. And the Sun Devils will send it all the way down. Yet again, another good start to this penalty kill. Jet Larson almost picking the puck up right off the defenseman on his own goal line. As it's Hoffenkamp now. In is the lead forechecker. Hoffenkamp and Larson come along the boards, do a good job sealing off the Rebels and really stifling their breakout. But they do persevere and get into the offensive zone. Sliding into the slot, looking for a quick shot, and that one's blocked off of the stick of Underwood. Back to the point, trying to jump up was Malone, but he couldn't stop it, and the Sun Devils will get a quick change as Kowalchuk stays home as that free safety to deny the Hail Mary pass.
Rebels have not been able to settle down in the offensive zone and really get something going.
Manning, button hooks down low, sends it back up to the point. A toe drag and wrister, that's deflected in front. Moore can't find it. It ultimately makes its way back behind the net where Hosworth and Kowalchuk try to dig it out and look for a clear. The Rebels seal the wall and will get the puck back. At the point now, Barry. He'll send it down low. After it is Flanders. Kowalchuk trying to work two Rebels without his stick. UNLV gets it back up to the point. Another shot, that's blocked. The Sun Devils trying to get it to a streaking forward as Porter was looking for a breakaway. But Platt couldn't find him. Short angle shot by the Rebels. That's saved by Moore. As UNLV continues, 20 seconds left on the power play. Manning dishes it down low to John. John back to Manning, a quick shot by Moore, and he'll glove that one. As the Sun Devils almost threw this penalty killing opportunity.
Yeah, and UNLV finally did start getting something going, especially on that left side of Bronson Moore in that corner. But I think it was just the spacing was just a little too close. There's three guys clustered all in front on that left side of the net. Would have liked a little more spacing, just be able to get some room to make a cleaner shooting opportunity.
Sun Devils slowing it down off of the draw, just trying to eat some clock right now. As Hoffenkamp feeds it to Lackey, and Lackey will skate it out. And this will do it for the power play opportunity, but Lackey can't get it deep. Hoffenkamp comes back to help him out. Now the Sun Devils can ultimately get it into the offensive zone. Husted across the line, a quick shot. Blocked away, Lackey after it now. It's in his skates, he can't find it. At the point, Kruk keeps it alive, dishes it across the point, but Lanfear couldn't connect on a pass, and the Rebels will send it off the glass and all the way down. The Rebels forcing a turnover, as it was Husted who stumbled in his own zone. UNLV behind the net. Bronson Moore trying to track it as it goes from low to high. That shot sent harmlessly wide of the net. All the way around, Hoffenkamp will try to slash it out of the zone, but the ice a little choppy, it'll slow down and stay in. Rebels once again trying to work it into the slot. Can't get a shot through, and Husted very tired and at the end of a shift. The Sun Devils really need to get this all the way down and get a line change. You can hear the coaching staff telling them to get it deep. The players, a couple turnovers in the neutral zone. This does not look good for the Sun Devils, and Moore scrambling back into his net. Makes an absolutely amazing desperation save, Brett, as the Rebels almost took advantage.
I think it's safe to say Bronson Moore got a little lucky there. In terms of playing the puck, we know we can be a little too aggressive at times. He was all the way down the corner, and then he had to readjust and hustle all the way back. Somehow was able to just slide both leg pads and able to freeze that puck with 2:11 left in the second period.
And that's the second time this period, Brett, we've seen Bronson Moore have to make a desperation save after a long shift that saw the Sun Devils make a couple turnovers in their own end. The first save he made was absolutely spectacular. This one was as well, but maybe a little more unconventional. Rebels looking for a quick pass into the slot as the defenseman was trickling in. Active sticks from the Sun Devils breaking up a lot of passes right now. As they'll clap the one all the way down, it's deflected, and that will allow the Sun Devils to get a partial change.
Sun Devils the last 3 or 4 minutes have been doing a great job blocking shots and plugging up those shooting lanes.
Porter backhands one into the slot. Havner was right there, but his stick gets chopped in half, and he'll have to go to the bench. The Rebels come back the other way with 90 seconds left on the clock in the second period. That's deflected just wide. Bronson Moore scrambling back into his net. The Rebels on it now. Turcotte, he'll dish it down low. Coming in after it was Toriumi. He'll take a check, but it comes up to the point. Kept in alive by the Rebels. That shot sticked away by Bronson Moore. Plonsky, he'll send one, and that gets deflected just wide of the net. Moore very aggressive, coming out to challenge all of these shots. Sun Devils once again will turn over at their own blue line. As back behind the play, it was Brendan Studioso taking a high stick in the throat, no call, as the referee didn't see it. A quick opportunity for the Rebels off of the turnover, and that's a short angle shot, once again stopped by Moore.
Sean Plonsky for that last minute and change was a difference maker out there, the junior for the UNLV team with that veteran presence from the blue line. He did a few things that go around. He was able to engage in from the point and be able to sneak in, find some quiet spots, end up getting one shot on, but I thought he was a really good catalyst of being able to help out his forwards and be an outlet for him and engage in shooting opportunities.
A soft little chip up as Shaw was streaking. Looking for him was Chambers, and the Rebels will bring it back in offsides.
A little bit of hooting and hollering down there from the UNLV end, but it's so important as a team to either pay attention or really hustle in terms of, one, recognizing where all your teammates are, and two, being able to hustle if you are that last man in to go ahead and be onside, because that negated a possible scoring opportunity for UNLV to claw back into this one.
Picking it up is Mazzillo. He'll reverse in his own end and backhand one. A nice heads-up play to get it in the offensive zone, but a soft shot is sticked away into the corner by Moore. Digging it out in the corner for UNLV was Manning. Manning will slide into the slot, but can't knock that one down. It gets all the way to the point. Kept alive. A couple nice moves, working in a short angle shot, and Moore has to make a very athletic save as the clock expires. A couple brilliant moves at the point by Hunter Mazzillo, the puck-moving defenseman, and that almost resulted in a last-gasp goal.
Yeah, beautiful job by him to really toe drag around two ASU defenders, and you can even hear the UNLV bench just frustrated at Bronson Moore as he just makes another fantastic stop with that glove hand, ends up preserving this 2-goal lead, and for UNLV, they're just trying to figure out a way to get past this goaltender.
And you can feel the tension really mounting, Brett, as UNLV not quite sure what's going to take to score. First period was much more balanced, a lot of Sun Devil offensive opportunities. Second periods, you really felt UNLV take it to the Sun Devils, whether that was their legs coming alive or the Sun Devils sitting back a little more. I'm not sure. You're the analyst here between the two of us, but nonetheless, Bronson Moore was there to stop every single opportunity that came his way.
Well, I think for UNLV, the UNLV team, they're probably the jewel of the Southwest, even on the Western region in terms of the Division I ACHA, and I think for them, they don't really find themselves in too many spots where they're one, down a goal, but two, they really, in order to get into a hockey game, have to go into those dirty areas, pay a price, take a check, and I think we started seeing that a little bit later in that second period, which was able to involve in their success down below in the corners, and that finally got ASU's defensive coverage confused, and their opportunities started to arise.
And as we go into the intermission here, folks, it's the Sun Devils 2, UNLV 0, as we will be back in 15 minutes for the final 20 minutes, potentially, of action here tonight between the Rebels and the Sun Devils. Don't go anywhere. Stick with us on ASU ACHA Hockey YouTube. Welcome back in, folks, as the puck is dropped on the third period. It's Arizona State 2, UNLV 0 in the season opening game for the Sun Devils. As we get the final action started, Niall Cooper, my partner, is Brett Vaughn. Brett, the Sun Devils escaping just barely at the end of that second period as Bronson Moore had to make a couple big saves late, almost having to make one here as he came way out of his net once again. And you told me during the intermission you think the recipe for success is going to be pretty simple for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, it's really just managing the puck in their own zone. Offensively, they've been doing a great job generating scoring chances. It's just for them to limit the unforced turnovers they've been doing so far.
Lackey winds one up. The rebound in front as Lagunier can't pick up the rebound. Can't corral the puck, and it's brought out now by UNLV. And that's going to be a penalty on Kowalczyk as he got his hand in the cookie jar and got caught.
Yeah, a little tough for both parties there as Kowalczyk was trying to go for the poke check, but the UNLV player did get taken down by it, and it's going to end up being possibly a catalyst for this UNLV Rebels team to possibly steal a goal here early in this third period, make it a little bit easier on themselves.
Kowalczyk will sit for 2 minutes. A big part of the penalty kill for the Sun Devils, a penalty kill that has been very successful thus far tonight, thanks in large part to the defenseman. The Rebels with possession off of the draw. At the point now, they look for a shot and a redirection. Flanders wasn't able to get his stick on it, working it into the slot as UNLV plays a little pitch and catch. A quick shot, and once again, Flanders trying to get his stick on it, but he could not as it was Paxton Malone who fired a wrister his direction. Hoffenkamp at the point almost gets it out. Malone with it now for the Rebels, and his shot will be deflected up into the netting.
UNLV, I think, for the first part of that power play, I think the big key for them is they finally won an offensive zone draw, and from there they got a little bit of puck movement going. Now it's going to be the second unit's opportunity to try to do the same exact thing.
Sun Devils get the face off, but it's UNLV who puts in the effort to pick up the loose puck. Back at the point now. Little pitch and catch at the point. A quick wrist shot that gets deflected just wide of the net, as it was Mazzillo ripping that one. Down low, it's Mannion on the puck, up on the half wall to Toriumi. Toriumi into the slot. They go up high, and a big block by the Sun Devils looking for the clear now, and they'll carry it all the way down. A great effort by Searing. Searing on the backhand as he'll just try to eat it in the corner while the Sun Devils get a change back behind the play.
Consistent effort all night shown by the Sun Devils. These forward groups paying the price of getting in that shooting lane and really bearing down and going ahead and blocking those shots.
And really at the forefront of that is a man that's on the ice right now leading the forecheck, Austin Palumbo, one of the veterans on this team. He's been great in his own end, getting in shooting lanes and making sure to break up passes. 40 seconds gone on the power play. Hoffenkamp manages to fight off the UNLV defender and gets it sent all the way down. UNLV trying to quickly get it back up in the offensive zone. They will, but it's Hoffenkamp back there once again, shouldering off his man. And a couple players go colliding in the corner as that gets sent up high. Hoffenkamp went tumbling down. Kruk went tumbling down. But luckily for ASU, the Rebels sent it up into the rafters.
Yeah, Connor Kruk in his own defensive end, he was the first one to go ahead and get that puck, but he didn't take a look over his shoulder. That's a key thing any defender needs to do in his own zone to be able to read the play, make an intelligent decision with the puck. He didn't elect doing so, and he almost coughed that puck up, and Arizona State's going to have to regroup in their own zone.
Porter now in on the draw for ASU. On his backhand, he'll win it. Stepping in and clearing it all the way around is Lanfear. And it's Brendan Studioso who makes sure to get that puck all the way down the ice. Havner to Kowalczyk. The redirection in front, it just goes wide. And Havner can't find it in the slot. At the point, it's kept by the Sun Devils. A hard wrister goes banging off right behind the net. The Sun Devils suddenly in on the offensive after another good penalty kill. Havner in the corner. Can't seal the wall. The Sun Devils trying to keep it in at the point. but it's UNLV coming back the other direction. On his forehand, trying to go high, glove side, and Bronson Moore says no.
Arizona State, I think, took some momentum after killing that early penalty, as well as their idea in terms of generating offense by having that weak side defenseman really hustle out of his own zone and come up. Kowalchuk again was there, almost had an opportunity on that redirection play, and it's been paying dividends all night.
The Rebels win another offensive zone draw. They get it back behind the net. Turcotte on it. Turcotte all the way up to the point. Sends it down low. Toriumi takes a check, stays on the puck. Bronson Moore forced to make a save. And Platt will backhand all the way around. Takes a funny bounce into the slot. And DeMizio was almost there. DeMizio sending Platt hard into the boards. The referee has his arm raised. That will be on DeMizio as the Rebels touch the puck.
Yeah, it was a tough play as DeMizio was seeing the numbers of like number 14, Drew Platt. And he was a little too aggressive, asserting that forecheck, ends up pushing Platt right in the numbers, ends up losing balance, going straight into the boards. Luckily, he's okay. It's going to be Arizona State's opportunity now to possibly get that all-important third goal, that insurance goal, to hopefully get the W.
Husted in on the draw in the offensive zone. He'll win it back to the point. Lackey was stepping up, though, to collect the loose puck. And inadvertently poking it past him was Plurd. So the Sun Devils have to restart now. Lackey sends it to the trailing Kowalchuk. Kowalchuk across the blue line. Button hooks. He tries to dish one across, and that could spell trouble as the Rebels come back the other way. Lackey back on defense, though. And a good effort from Plurd. Denies a breakaway. The Rebels still not done yet. And that shot goes whistling right over the net as the Sun Devils under a little pressure on their own power play early.
Don't see too many mistakes from Kowalchuk as he was the last man back with that errant pass. It's a dangerous play. You got to be 100% sure of that play you're making if you're that last defenseman.
Lackey really getting a hard ride from the Rebels right now. His stick ends up breaking, and UNLV will clear it all the way down as they're getting very physical on this penalty kill. Osworth off the half wall to Porter. He has to make a quick play to get it out. And the Sun Devils a little trouble connecting their passes as we're down to 45 seconds left on the power play opportunity and 14:40 left in the third period.
It's been really evident to me that UNLV on this penalty kill has finally decided to really show some hustle and really be assertive.
A quick chance in front for the Sun Devils, and laying out to make the save was Lagunier as that puck found its way in front through a melee of sticks. The Sun Devils unable to poke it home, though, as there were a lot of Rebels in front and a little bit of jawing going on now after the play.
Yeah, I think you could also see a little bit of the jawing after. I think both teams are, one, starting to develop a little hatred for each other. I think it's been showing a little bit in terms of those loose puck battles as we're seeing UNLV now bringing their arms to the table as well as ASU.
Geographically speaking, it would make for a great rivalry, Brett, as Las Vegas is not too far away. We haven't really seen it manifest itself until now. And this will be a boarding penalty going Arizona State's direction as Daniel Chambers, will sit for 2 minutes.
3 penalties called by this referee crew in quick succession, and I think it's them possibly getting a good sense of, one, calming the game down, I think, a little bit as UNLV really applying the pressure now, down 2 goals in the third period. But it's going to be really important for Arizona State, with you holding the lead, that you want to be aggressive, but pick your spots in terms of being smart when you're being aggressive.
ASU will win the draw. Havner circles in his own end, gets it up to Kowalchuk, the 2 veterans making a quick breakout. Studioso throwing it in front. He had Kowalchuk making a power move, couldn't get his stick on it. The Rebels bring it back the other way. Malone, a nice move around the defenseman in the corner. He'll look to throw it in front of the net. Waits for reinforcements, and it's Manning. Manning has it poked off by Studioso. Studioso will throw it down the ice, and a little miscommunication as the Sun Devils were going for a partial change. And that'll be an icing, and the player that got off the ice will be forced to step back on. You look for a little more communication down there, Brett. Someone's got to let Studioso know that the guy's getting off the ice.
Yeah, he really had no idea. He had a UNLV forechecker bearing down on him, and he just decided to chip that puck up, and UNLV has a great opportunity now.
And UNLV, as we saw quite often in the second period, unsuccessfully able to win the draw in the offensive zone. The Sun Devils have really shut it down when it mattered most in the faceoff dot. Rebels using the referee almost as a screen there, get it behind the net, end up losing the puck, but keep it at the point. Malone. Along the half wall, making a quick spinorama was Underwood as he tried to feed his man, but they end up losing the puck, and the Rebels have to go all the way back in their own end as the Sun Devils are down to 50 seconds on the PK. Rebels across the center line in the offensive zone. On his backhand is Barry. Barry back on it. He pivots, dishes it across to Malone. Malone will send it down low. Flanders is after it. They go low to high. Malone swapping with his man. Will skate it down low on his backhand. And that'll get all the way back up to the point. Kept alive by Barry. A good pass. Another short angle shot. Moore will stop that one. And the Sun Devil penalty kill really giving UNLV fits right now as they can't get a grade A scoring opportunity.
Yeah, I think for UNLV, they're looking for the perfect pass in the offensive zone. They're moving the puck around, and ASU is allowing to, but if you're just keeping the puck on that perimeter, you're not really doing anything to test the defense. They want to try to go ahead, move some puck movement, but then go in.
UNLV off the draw. John on the half wall operating, sends a pass across. A little pitch and catch now. John on the one-timer, and Bronson Moore is there. As it was a soft, sending a quick pass across to DeAndre John, and he ripped that one-timer, but Moore beat him to it.
Yeah, ASU was puck watching a little too much as they were focusing on the puck handler on the strong side, allowing John to squeak out on the weak side and allowed him to have that one-timer opportunity.
12:20 remaining in the period. Daniel Chambers will step into the face-off dot against Turcotte. Turcotte on his backhand will kick it to John. UNLV keeps it alive at the point. Turcotte down low. Landfear and Kowalchuk now after it. Kowalchuk drags two men with him, but the Sun Devils can't get it out. Stepping in and trying to get a big shot away, but just in the nick of time, Chambers gets his stick in on the diving attempt. Chambers trying to backhand it up to the point now. He had Shaw. Couldn't get it there. Chambers still giving a little lip service to the UNLV forward as the Sun Devils finally get out of their own. Behind the play, ASU gets a quick change. DeAndre John tries to make a play, but Shaw's there to answer. And John will send it across now, as giving chase is number 14, Drew Platt, in on the forecheck for the Sun Devils. John having to work hard at the end of his shift here, but it's Hoffenkamp who will beat him to the puck. Into the slot, the Sun Devils trying to collect that rebound, and they will. Back to the point. Circling along to the half wall, looking for another deflection in front as the Sun Devils continue to try to pepper those point shots.
Yeah, Sun Devils doing a great job of trying to kill this game off. Their fourth line again was out there with Larson, Hoffenkamp, and Searing, and it was really all Timothy Hoffenkamp, and he was on DeAndre John's back pocket the whole time. Finally ended up forcing that turnover in the offensive zone, allowing ASU to keep applying the pressure.
And assistant coach Jim Nellis was telling us before the game, Brett, he thinks there's a lot of potential here for Timothy Hoffenkamp in that fourth center line role. Jet Larson now trying to make a quick pivot in the corner, ends up losing the puck, but the Rebels can't find on the half wall. Eventually digging it out now is Brandon Manning. Manning across the blue line, looking to send one in front. The puck won't get off the edge of his stick, and it's Hoffenkamp who breaks it up. A 2-on-1 the other way. Searing in across the blue line. He dishes the pass, and Jet Larson sends that one just wide of the net as the best opportunity of the third period for the Sun Devils goes begging.
Yeah, it was a little too over-aggressive with UNLV as they're trying to activate that defenseman. It ended up leading to a 2-on-1 opportunity. And for Searing, I think he could have done maybe a little bit better in terms of putting that pass in the wheelhouse for Jet Larson. I think Jet Larson could have done a little better in terms of anticipating and timing that one-timer shot as he heeled it. Didn't get all of that puck.
And that's certainly a chance that you won't hope comes back to bite the Sun Devils in the butt at the end of the game. A 3-0 goal would certainly do them a lot right now in expanding upon their lead and getting that much-needed insurance. Rebels trying to make something happen the other way. An abbreviated 2-on-1 and more scrambles across as it was Paxton Malone on the back post looking to bang that one in. With speed the other way for the Sun Devils. That takes a funny bounce in front of the net as Husted came in with quite a bit of speed. Husted still after it, lays a check. Now Plurd lays a check. And the Sun Devils cause a turnover. Husted in front, he has Lackey, and Lackey gets sent down as that puck redirected up into the netting. No call, but it will be an offensive zone draw for ASU.
Sun Devils got away with that one on that 2-on-1 opportunity. As again, protecting any goal lead going into the later stages of the third period. That team needs to do a better job of now being a little bit less aggressive, which means committing less numbers forward in the offensive zone, allowing you to really cover all your bases defensively.
Rebels try to rim it around into the neutral zone. But reading that play was Lanfear. And now it's Havner who sends it all the way in. 9:34 left on the clock. Studioso steps in at the blue line, causes a turnover, tries to feed Porter in the slot, but it's just off the edge of his stick. He can't quite reach it. Porter after it now again, looking into the slot. A little 1-2 with Studioso, and he heels that shot just wide of the net. Turcotte trying to get out of his own end for UNLV as it's Damone Porter giving chase. And finally it's Asaf now who has a chance to get it across the red line, and he will, and they dump it all the way in. Moore with the puck, and he'll send that one all the way up into his own bench for a stoppage in play.
You can hear barking out from the bench, one of the players yelling, only one guy going on the forecheck now as Arizona State has switched up their forecheck to go for more of that passive 1-2-2 where you have one guy in the offensive zone trying to pressure the puck carrier, and then you have two forwards on the offensive blue line and then the two defensemen out near the far blue, and really putting the onus on UNLV to try and go through the whole team.
And we see that in other sports as well, Brett. In football, we call it the prevent defense. When teams try to shut it down at the end and keep everything in front of them, Arizona State will need to do a good job balancing that with also not allowing UNLV too many easy opportunities to enter the zone, as UNLV will go offsides right here.
You ended up paying dividends for a defensive team. You really want to use the blue line as your friend, as if you can create any sort of confusion for that puck carrier for them to enter into the zone hesitantly, it'll allow that possible opportunity of an offside.
And behind the play, getting into it right now is Shaw and Linehan. As Shaw gave Linehan a little shot, and Linehan gives it back. The linesman kicks out the center iceman for UNLV. The referee now coming over, letting them know to play it cool. As the tenacity really starting to up to another level right now for both teams. ASU will dump that in, and that takes a funny bounce right in front of the net. It was sitting there for the taking as Lagonier with a little trouble settling down what was a seemingly innocuous chip in. And just arriving late to the scene was Daniel Chambers.
Midway through a period, the ice is going to start to get a little choppy as it was rolling end over end, going towards the goaltender, Lanier, and you have to be more of a baseball catcher in that sense of really not only getting your glove behind it, but also your body, and he had a little trouble with it, but luckily he was there and alert.
8:32 remaining. The Sun Devils pushing for that third goal. Behind the net, they're both giving chase, but it's Jake Berry who does a good job to get that puck out. UNLV in the other direction. Kenny Miller making a good physical play in front of the net as Bronson Moore covers the puck up, and now things get real interesting behind the play. Bronson Moore getting into it. You don't see this too often, Brett. As the goalie for UNLV now all the way up at his blue line, wondering whether he needs to come in and join the party.
Yeah, again, for a good sign of a good hockey team is that you're going to have to fight through some adversity. And for UNLV right now, I think they're taking the wrong direction in terms of that sense of going after it after the whistle rather than in the whistles and between them during the actual run of play. As even saw one of the defensemen for UNLV jumping in there into that play. I get you're trying to settle the score, but you can do that out in the parking lot right now. At this point, you're trying to get back into the hockey game, and you still have a shot with the firepower UNLV has. Only down 2 goals. They just need one shot to get back in it, and now they're just putting themselves behind the 8 ball.
Brennan Manning, as he made his way to the box, giving a few parting words to Clayton Lackey, letting him know he wasn't his biggest fan. As the penalty boxes get filled, the referees will converse in their referee crease. Brett, I'm not sure exactly what you call that, but it is certainly the safe zone for the referees right now, as they will certainly be hounded by the captains of both teams to figure out what the calls will ultimately be. As you mentioned, UNLV trying to fight through adversity, maybe taking that a little too literally after that last scoring opportunity.
Yeah, and I think it has been, trying to sum it up, a possible frustrating night for UNLV, as Bronson Moore has been playing his hat off in between the pipes for Arizona State, and as well as Arizona State really not making it any easier for UNLV in terms of allowing them to use their speed to generate scoring chances. It's been showing on some frustration, as you can hear some banging on the boards at times, and resulting in that little scuffle after the whistle.
And you can certainly understand what's with all the frustration for UNLV, Brett. Last night, they let in 4 power play goals against on 4 separate penalties that they took. Tonight, they've taken at least 4 penalties, 4 bad penalties. And while they haven't been hurt as much by the penalties that they've taken, they haven't been able to make that big late comeback yet like they were against GCU. And it's certainly starting to manifest itself into the way they play. You thought maybe they would have a breakthrough in the second period. They generated some good scoring opportunities, but just couldn't get that last little puck to get in across the line, as Bronson Moore was there for the Sun Devils when they needed him most.
Looks like the referees have finally huddled up and had their meeting, and now the scorekeeper and PA announcer here at Oceanside Ice Arena is finally announcing the calls. Both captains for both teams, Zachary Kowalchuk and Baz Asaf, are speaking with the Zebras, communicating to their benches on how the rest of play will resume.
Still making the calls for the penalties right now, as Bronson Moore having a few parting words all the way down the other end of the ice. Lagonier letting him know that he was looking for an invitation to that party. Bronson Moore saying it got lost in the mail, as Bronson Moore will get charged 2 minutes for roughing. As we still wait for everything to get put up on the scoreboard. Not really sure what ending call is going to be, as there was quite a lot to take in at the end of that play. The Sun Devils do have 5 skaters on the ice right now, though, Brett.
Yeah, at least that stoppage in play could be a positive for some of the folks here at home to possibly take a restroom break here in this highly contested third period. And again, we appreciate you guys so much for tuning in tonight. And please make sure to hit that subscribe button to not miss any future Division I or even Division II hockey games this season.
Yes, as immediately following this game tonight, we will have Division II Arizona State Sun Devil Ice Hockey as they take on the visiting San Jose State Spartans. So ultimately, after all of that, we will have 5-on-5 action with a few guys serving some time in the box.
Possibly almost a pseudo timeout, if you will, for UNLV with that stoppage. Possibly going back to the bench and really try to reevaluate everything in terms of them trying to come back in this hockey game.
Offensive zone draw for the Sun Devils. Husted in there. And both centermen will get kicked out. It'll be Malone now against Plurd. Plurd throws it into the corner. Kowalchuk pinches from the point to keep it alive. And ASU gets the puck back. Bringing it ahead and tipping it in was Malone. UNLV picks up a loose puck now, and Bronson Moore makes a left leg pad save. Kowalchuk will backhand it up the half wall. Lackey trying to get it out. He'll get some help from Husted, who chips it all the way up to Plurd. Plurd in a foot race. He'll be the first one to the puck. On his backhand, he'll just send it around the net as he waits for reinforcements. Husted on it. Pushes hard in the corner. They get it back up to the point. That shot looking for a deflection in front, as that was a good wrister presented by Kruk, but nobody could get a stick on it, and Lagunier holds.
Bronson Moore again being sharp tonight, as DeAndre John's shot was saved by him with the leg pad. And for UNLV, it's going to be tough. They're up against it right now. They're down 2 goals. ASU being a lot more conservative in terms of getting numbers forward. UNLV is going to have to get a little dirty here to come back.
Losing that puck behind his net as he was looking for the breakout pass was Flanders. He'll step up, and on the second chance opportunity, he gets it across the blue line. Acts as a fullback, pushing the defender back for ASU, and it's the Rebels on the puck now. Behind the net, Porter gives a hard check. Erickson using his body to keep it alive. The Rebels dish it behind the net. Hosworth sends it all the way around. Studioso's after it. Porter's after it. And now it's Havner on in the offensive zone. Havner short another shot, and he scores! Adam Havner! And he makes it 3-0 ASU. That all-important insurance goal we were talking about comes from the veteran forward. And the Sun Devils are sitting pretty.
Havner was able to escape. He was that weak side winger. He had a lot of space on that left side of his, and he was able to utilize it. Had great puck awareness of knowing where the puck is, not putting himself offside, and really wasn't anything special. He saw the defenseman for UNLV bearing down on him, just went ahead and went for the shot, went right through the wickets of the goaltender Lagunier, and that's probably something that goaltender would want back.
Yes, and we've been seeing those short angle shots all night, Brett, from both sides, especially for UNLV. And they could never get it to go. A good attempt by Havner. Any shot is a good shot at this stage of the game. And he managed to get that one to find a hole. And UNLV really chasing it down 3-0 with 6 minutes and change left. Kowalchuk a stick check. Oh, that makes its way to a 2-on-0. And Bronson Moore will save the rebound. They score! UNLV gets a goal as Bronson Moore pleads his case for a distinct kicking motion. It doesn't look like his call will go his way, and UNLV gets this back very quickly to a 2-goal differential.
Something head coach Tate Green for the Sun Devils is not going to like how they gave a back goal. A lot of the Sun Devil players were a little too much puck hungry as they were exiting the zone a little too early, and that allowed UNLV to come in on a very fast and quick 3-on-0 opportunity on Moore, and the goaltender really had no chance to put that rebound and make a save on it.
And it appears Bronson Moore may have made enough of a case. The referees are really talking this over as the captain, Kowalchuk, gets a lay of the land. And it looks like the goal will stand, Brett.
Looks like it might be a penalty resulting after the Sun Devils. It looks like it's going to be a slashing call awarded to Daniel Chambers as the referee's trying to explain himself over to the Arizona State bench. So almost a double whammy here. You can't have double jeopardy in the United States, but you can have it here in this hockey game. And and ends up being Arizona State getting a goal against, and now they're going to be having to kill a penalty.
Yeah, Brett, if we were in San Diego tonight, I think we'd definitely be seeing a highlight of this with Champ Kine saying, whammy! As Arizona State putting themselves in a tough spot right now, down a man and down a goal against. This thing's getting very chippy and very tense late in this game. Sun Devils win that draw, send it all the way down, and UNLV, you can sense a little bit of desperation and a little bit of confidence in their game as they skated into the offensive zone. Keeping it alive at the point is DeMizio. Dishes it across to Malone. He makes a good pass, a seam pass to Underwood. He couldn't find it. DeMizio back on it at the point. DeMizio softly sends it across, and a good stick check by Hoffenkamp as that forces UNLV back into the neutral zone. Barry to DeMizio. DeMizio reverses it to Malone. Malone on his backhand will send it all the way around, just out of the reach of Kruk. Otherwise, that's getting sent all the way down the ice. A nice toe drag move, looking for the backhand in front, but Hoffenkamp was there with another good stick, and the Sun Devils get it clear.
Usually as a player, once you make that first deke, it's finally then once you break the defense down and go ahead and make a play, just a little too cute on that play for the Rebels.
A good job taking a hit to make a play is Searing as he'll send it all the way down the ice. And with 45 seconds left, the Rebels will try to get one more good scoring opportunity. Searing on it once again in the neutral zone, and he'll send it all the way down. A good penalty killing shift for the Sun Devils with their backs against the wall.
UNLV had a little bit of something going in that first half of it, but now in the second half, not so much.
Sun Devils really clamped down. Can they continue to clamp down as Moore makes a save in the corner? DeAndre John, the first one there. He dishes it back to the point, gets the puck right back. John will pause, down low, sends it to Turcotte. Turcotte versus for John, and that's blocked right in front of the net. The Sun Devils trying to clear it. Searing on the backhand. Second chance opportunity. It works its way back to Searing, and he'll send it all the way down the ice.
Arizona State, again, really inspired of going ahead, reading those passing lanes and shooting lanes, making it difficult for the Rebels.
An immense kill for the Sun Devils as we're down to 4 minutes left in this game. As that skee-balled up into the netting for another stoppage in play. Getting chippy after the whistle was Eric Williams. And Brett, we're getting down to crunch time right now for the Rebels, as they're really going to be throwing pretty much everything but the kitchen sink at the net at this point of the game.
Yeah, again, they find themselves in that same predicament, down 2 goals. Less time, of course, now, but it's going to be important now for every offensive zone draw to try to make something of it.
A blind reverse gives the puck right to UNLV, but they can't connect on the pass, and it's Hosworth coming the other way. Hosworth feeds Lackey. Lackey on his off wing. Sends it back to Hosworth. He has a man right in front of the net. He looks for him, and what a save by Lagunier, as it was Plur alone all in front of the net. As that shot would not go, Lagunier ends up falling into the back of his net as it comes off the moorings, and we have a stoppage in play. But Brett, an opportunity for the Sun Devils to really put this game away, and a big save by Lagunier when the Rebels needed him most.
Yeah, sitting back door, Lagunier did a great job of recognizing where the ASU player was in terms of anticipating where he needed to move from right to left in his crease. Ends up making that big save, and it was weird. He took a little bit of a spill. I don't know if he got hit by somebody or lost an edge, but faceoff's going to be in his own zone.
Kowalchuk, another wrist shot, very similar to the one he scored on, but Lagunier is able to corral that and stop it. The Sun Devils getting another quick change on the play, answering UNLV's change.
Yeah, right now for both teams, UNLV trying to get back in it. They're going to try to keep their skill guys out as much as possible, but for Arizona State, they're going to have a little bit of an advantage in terms of having a lot fresher guys rolling all 4 lines.
Malone trying to win the draw against Chambers. He gets some help from the winger, but it's Shaw for the Sun Devils in the corner tying it up. Shaw behind the net, trying to get it up to the point, but it's the Rebels giving chase, and they'll get it all the way out of their zone. And a big check laid right in front of the Rebel penalty box by Shaw. And the referee raises his arm for a penalty. Not sure what the call is. The hit looked to be textbook by the Sun Devil forward. And it's going to be an elbowing call, as the head coach, Tate Green, for the Sun Devils is definitely not happy with that. This ASU penalty kill, which has been asked to step up big time in this third period, will once again be called upon, Brett.
Yeah, I think, again, it's as a back referee, I didn't really have a good look at it, but I think maybe even if it was legal, I believe he's still just trying to put a damper on this game in terms of the emotion that both teams are playing with, as we had that scrum earlier in the period, and I think he wants to avoid a situation possibly like that. But it'll allow UNLV to, again, have a great opportunity to have a 5-on-4 power play with 3 minutes left. They're going to have to get something really direct and close to that net. They have the skill to do it, but I think it's just something of them if they're going to be willing to pay the price against ASU.
Yeah, and certainly with that hit, Brett, Braden Shaw is not exactly the smallest guy, clocking in at 6'3", 190. The Auburn, Washington native definitely towers over a lot of the players on that UNLV team. And that certainly played a part, I'm sure, in the way the ref viewed it, as that height difference can sometimes almost be detrimental to the guy laying the hit when you're bigger, because it just puts you in a position where you have to be a lot more careful with how you're laying the body.
Yeah, especially in terms of elbow length, which I think that was the end call with that referee with an elbowing call, is that if he's a 6'2" guy and you're maybe playing somebody with 5'9", like that's where the guy's head is. So if he just lifts his arm up, it's going to elbow the guy, which is what ended up being called.
So with 3:24 left in the third, it's a 3-1 game. The Sun Devils lead, but a power play opportunity for UNLV as they look to get within one. At the point, trying to sort it out is Williams. But it's picked up by Hoffenkamp and sent all the way down, as Hoffenkamp has logged a lot of ice time in this third period, especially on the PK. Coming back is Turcotte. He kicks it between his feet just on sides. The righty will wheel around the net and dish it back up to the point. Turcotte on it once again. He has Asaf up top. Tries to go for the shot. Asaf has to step in and keep it alive. He'll send it down low. John ties up his man. Toriumi now delaying in Gretzky's office. Goes low to high. They send it across. Turcotte, he'll settle the puck down. Looking for a quick pass, but the Sun Devils break it up and send it all the way down the ice. Another good stick check and another big kill.
Yeah, UNLV, again, not too much really going towards the way of the goaltender more.
ASU dumps that down as they'll look to get a partial change behind the play, as does UNLV. 50 seconds left on the power play. With some speed is DeMizio, but a good stick check by Hoffenkamp denies them a clean entry. And that ends up being onside, as here comes UNLV. Up top calling for it is Barry. They'll keep it alive. Barry into the slot. UNLV's pulled their goaltender. It's a 6-on-4 opportunity right now. Osworth gives chase. UNLV sends that one all the way back behind the net. Kruk just trying to delay the puck. DeMizio back on it. Barry looking for a quick shot that's blocked away by Hoffenkamp. DeMizio on his backhand. He has a pass, a quick shot. That one goes high and over the net as Mazzillo couldn't keep it down. In the slot, wide open, shooting opportunity. Moore with the save. The rebound goes just wide. Hoffenkamp now on his backhand, trying to clear the puck, but he can't. We're down to 1:15 on the clock. UNLV still with the goalie pulled. It's a 6-on-5 now as the penalty has expired. Plonsky down low. Malone, he'll send it up high. Barry with a shot that gets through. Moore with the save. It's sitting there in the paint. And coming in to collect it are the Sun Devils, and they'll send it down. No icing as Bronson Moore called upon to make a huge save late. UNLV back on it. Another quick scoring opportunity, but Flanders couldn't get that shot through. Kept just alive at the point. Malone lets it go. Behind the net, Kowalchuk. As the Sun Devils screwing around with it behind their own net. It's loose right in front of Moore. Nobody can find it. Looking for a wraparound is UNLV. And the net comes off the moorings just in the nick of time, Brett, as the Sun Devils turn that over right at the top of the blue line.
About 90 seconds or so for UNLV, really applying the pressure Moore again standing on his head as ASU's been playing well, as to be fair, in front of him, trying to limit whatever shots they can and get in the way.
Turcotte in the draw against Husted with 30 seconds on the clock. Husted wins it. Hosworth sends it around. Lackey will try to get it out of the zone, but UNLV keeps it alive. Husted really fighting. Lackey helps him out. Lackey pushes it ahead. Lackey will wait, delay, try to send it in the slot to Husted. Husted will send that one towards the net, but it's blocked away. 8 seconds on the clock. UNLV will try to push it up the ice one final time. And that will be called offsides, as this game is effectively over. Brett, a great effort by the Sun Devils to really clamp down at the end of this game.
Yeah, it has, especially for your first game, maybe trying to shake some of the rust off in terms of figuring out how to close out a game, and I think ASU has shown that they've been able to be capable of doing that so early in the season.
We'll have one last face-off here. The Sun Devils technically can put one more face-off win on the shot clock, but most importantly, a big 3-1 victory for ASU in this season opening game against the visiting UNLV Rebels. As ASU went up 1-0 in the first off a goal from Zachary Kowalchuk and never yielded the lead from there on.
Yeah, it was for ASU. They did a great job of just putting themselves in a winning position all game. They made sure to get that first goal, and then from there did a good job, I think, in so early in the season to go ahead and get this W.
As the Sun Devils give a stick tap and salute to the fans. It was a packed house here tonight at Oceanside Ice Arena, as the fans really came out in full force to support the Sun Devils as they got a big season opening victory. And Brett, they will only be able to enjoy this for so long before they get right back at it tomorrow when UNLV and ASU kick off once again in the final game of this home series. That game will get underway at 7 p.m. And I'm sure we will see UNLV coming out with everything that they've got, trying to finish off their visiting trip to Arizona on a good note. We welcome you into the broadcast booth here after a big win from the Sun Devils, as my partner Brett gets the camera all set up just right. We run a big-time production up here, partner. And ASU ran a big-time production in front of their own net. Bronson Moore made a few spectacular saves tonight that I think we really have to key in on, because if even one of those goes in, this game has a completely different tenor coming into the third period.
Yeah, I thought it was a great team win tonight. I think Bronson Moore, he didn't have to do as much as he did last season. He did just enough, making those key saves when called upon, and I think I was really impressed by the penalty kill for Arizona State and their forwards in terms of blocking shots and making it very difficult for a talented UNLV team to get something going.
And Brett, now I'm going to call upon you to give us our OxyPow player of the game. There are certainly a few different names you can call upon. A lot of new faces certainly emerged tonight and really showed up when ASU needed them most, but who caught your eye?
Yeah, I think it's going to be number 7, Jack Hosworth. He's a guy that maybe you won't notice too much at home. He's not going to be maybe scoring as much as some might think or show up on the stat sheet, but he does a lot of subtle defensive plays in terms of decision-making with the puck. That's very impressive and does not put his team in harm's way.
And much like an O-line in football, Brett, if your defenseman isn't really getting noticed, that's probably a good thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, it definitely is kind of the unsung hero, so to speak, for a hockey team, and he was one of the key members in this victory for Arizona State.
And he certainly helped Arizona State dot their I's and cross their T's tonight in a big season-opening victory. And folks, we thank you so much for sticking with us tonight. And remember, don't be going anywhere, as we have more action coming just around the corner tonight when D2 takes on San Jose State. That game will be underway very shortly, as we will cut this stream and start a new one. And then once again tomorrow night, another doubleheader at 7 p.m. We will have D1 against UNLV to finish off the season opening series. Brett, and I'm really looking forward to that game. I think we're going to see a lot from both teams.
Yeah, I think UNLV's their first loss of the season. I think it's going to leave a bad taste in their mouth, and it's going to be for them to really show and give them their all to Arizona State tomorrow.
And I hope that all of you come back and join us for that game. Maybe tell a few of your friends to join too, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Alongside my partner, I am Niall Cooper. He is Brett Vaughn. And this has been Arizona State ACHA Hockey on YouTube.